It's the double feature no one saw coming.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're looking at the defining pop culture events of every year from 2016 to 2025. 2016, Pokémon Go reignites Pokémania. Season 1 of Stranger Things took us back to the 80s, while kids who grew up at the century's turning point once again set out to catch 'em all.
And from now on, we'll catch a whole bunch of new friends.
While Pokémon has been an international phenomenon for 30 years now, this augmented reality game grabbed the zeitgeist as if it were 1999. Of course, the Game Boy generation never could have imagined one day capturing Pokémon on a smartphone, creating the illusion that Pikachu and others had invaded our world.
It's been downloaded an estimated 7.5 million times, making an estimated $1.6 million daily in in-app purchases alone.
While most Pokémon games can be played on the go, this one encouraged us to venture beyond home, searching for all 150 or so. Bringing out our inner trainers, the launch of Pokémon Go remains a snapshot in time when physical and virtual exploration intersected.
Gotcha!
Pokémon fever is back, and it's everywhere.
Nostalgia hits in, like, I'm a kid, I need to play this again, it's real life.
Well, he texted me like 30 minutes ago saying, let's meet up in Hollywood to catch Pokemon.
Trying to catch them all, you know?
2017, the wrong Best Picture winner is announced. Since its theatrical rollout the previous December, La La Land was widely predicted to win the Best Picture Oscar. As the ceremony approached in February 2017, though, Moonlight gained momentum as an underdog that could go all the way.
When we got to Atlanta, I started over. Built myself from the ground up. Built myself hard.
The ceremony culminated in Faye Dunaway proclaiming La La Land as the victor. While the evening seemed to go as expected, audiences found it odd that Warren Beatty initially hesitated to read what was inside the envelope.
How could it be Warren Beatty's fault when you say he could be possibly,
well, because someone could say Warren Beatty clearly knew it was the wrong card.
People found it even stranger when the La La Land team announced that Moonlight had actually won. Time practically stopped as people realized they weren't joking. There had been a mix-up on Hollywood's biggest night. Even by the following year's award season, people were still talking about Envelope Gate.
The accountants gave Warren the wrong card, and they apologized for it today, so it wasn't Warren Beatty's fault. And Faye Dunaway made quite a getaway. She got the hell out of there. She read the wrong name, and she split. She wanted no part of it. She was smart, too. And then I spent the whole rest of the night answering questions about it. It was quite an evening.
2018, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal wedding. Like Prince William and Catherine Middleton's nuptials 7 years earlier, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding drew fascination beyond the United Kingdom.
Two young people fell in love, and we all showed up.
According to Nielsen, almost 2 billion people from 180 countries watched. While every royal wedding is an event, this one stood out for a few reasons. Not only was Markle an American-born woman joining the British royal family, but she was already somewhat familiar to audiences. Having played Rachel Zane on Suits, Markle's royal ascension was compared to Grace Kelly's.
But because Meghan is who Meghan is, an American bride, it had to also reflect culturally where she came from, and so they planned the ceremony that really did straddle the ocean, for that matter, from America to here.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex's union blended tradition with modern twists, signifying the beginning of a new era, one that would bring plenty of dysfunction in the coming years. But on May 18, 2018, the new royal couple had the world rejoicing.
The music occasionally departed from the norm, but the vows were traditional, and so was the kiss.
2019, the MCU enters its Endgame. 2019 saw 3 major franchises reach climaxes in ongoing stories that had captivated the masses.
I put the brains and the brawn together, and now look at me. Best of both worlds.
Unfortunately, the Game of Thrones finale and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker both left fans with much to desire. Marvel managed to stick the landing, though, with Avengers Endgame, the culmination of more than 20 films released over 11 years. For a franchise that had seen a few missteps up to that point, Endgame proved to be the ultimate victory lap, wrapping up virtually every lingering plot thread in an emotionally satisfying, crowd-pleasing manner.
We have 1 particle left each. That's it, all right? We use that. Bye-bye, you're not going home.
Yeah, well, if we don't try, then no one else is going home either.
The portal sequence in particular was a cinematic moment that had theaters erupting like never before. It set a new bar for Marvel, crossovers, and superhero movies in general, one that may never be topped.
I'm hoping if you play this back, it's in celebration.
2020, Tiger King gets us through the pandemic. The pandemic took a toll on pop culture in 2020, resulting in numerous events being postponed or canceled. Streaming provided a gateway to escapism, with one show dominating the conversation.
This is my own little town. I'm the mayor, the prosecutor, the cop, and the executioner.
It was the saga of big cats, business rivals, missing persons, terrible music videos, and a zookeeper turned prisoner turned presidential hopeful named Joe Exotic.
You might know him better as Joe Exotic. He's currently behind bars, but this isn't stopping the Tiger King. His campaign website insists he's serious and the campaign is not a joke, and claims he wants to take this country back.
Tiger King was a bonkers docuseries that reflected our own bizarre reality. It's hard to say whether or not Tiger King would have caught on like it did if the show hadn't premiered just as people went into lockdown. In any case, this Netflix series had us all glued to our TVs, or at least playing in the background while we tie-dyed our clothing and made sourdough bread.
There's a clear appetite for more Joe Exotic. Last fall, SNL star Kate McKinnon signed on to star in and executive produce an adaptation of a Joe Exotic podcast. And now, with the 7-part Netflix series dominating pop culture during coronavirus quarantine, Hollywood quickly pouncing.
2021, Squid Game becomes a global sensation. As the world inched back toward normalcy, streaming maintained a firm grasp on pop culture in 2021.
이 게임에 자원하셨습니다. 지금 다시 선택의 기회를 드리겠습니다.
Netflix outdid the success of Tiger King with Squid Game, the first season of which remains the most watched show in the platform's history. The South Korean series broke through language barriers with its shocking yet timely premise, haunting imagery that birthed that year's most popular Halloween costumes, and stellar performances, with names like Lee Jung-jae reaching a new level of international recognition.
Language learning app Duolingo reporting a 40% increase in the US, with new users wanting to learn Korean. And Squid Game's challenges going viral on TikTok.
It even led to classic games like Red Light, Green Light making a comeback, not just on TikTok, but on actual playgrounds. That's kind of disturbing when you think about it. Regardless, this just exemplifies how far of a reach Squid Game had at its peak.
And there was a huge idea in television that people would never accept something that was so foreign it wasn't in our native language. This has proven that is definitely not true. You're right, Holly, much more open to it.
2022, Depp v. Heard causes hearsay. Weeks after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the 94th Academy Awards, another celebrity scandal dominated pop culture for nearly 2 months.
He promised you you would never see his eyes again. Isn't that true? I don't recall if he said that.
The Depp v. Heard trial was like a real-life soap opera that only got more unhinged with every new piece of testimony. While former husband and wife Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were at the center of this media circus, it turned several others into viral figures, from attorneys like Camille Vasquez to witnesses like Alejandro Romero.
You don't recall seeing Amber Heard on May 24th, correct?
I don't remember. I don't even remember what I got for breakfast.
The trial inspired countless memes, conspiracies, and debates, not just about who was in the wrong, but also whether a case involving alleged abuse should be turned into entertainment. Either way, everyone found themselves talking about the trial, even if they didn't watch it.
I do find that the jury's verdict is unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your service in this case. I want to thank you again for your dedication and your hard work during this trial. And I know I speak for everybody here when I tell you that we appreciate your sacrifices and your time and your public service in this matter.
2023, Barbenheimer sparks a pink explosion. The box office was in dire need of a win in 2023. It thankfully had a couple, with Taylor Swift bringing her record-shattering Eras Tour to cinemas. Yet no event packed theaters like the unlikely double feature of Barbenheimer.
Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's epic about the creation of the atomic bomb, going head-to-head with a movie that could not be more different.
Aside from releasing on the same day, Barbie and Oppenheimer seem to have little in common. Greta Gerwig's film was a self-aware comedy based on an iconic toy, while Christopher Nolan's was a biographical drama centered on the father of the atom bomb.
The world
will remember this day.
Weirdly enough, both would leave audiences contemplating their own mortality, but the two films could not have been more different tonally. The counter-programming proved mutually beneficial, as audiences draped in pink and black found themselves lining up for both blockbusters.
Is Barbenheimer actually a real thing, or just an internet meme? According to AMC Theaters, not only is it real, but over 40,000 tickets have been sold already for the double feature.
2024, the downfall of P. Diddy. The public's perception of Sean Combs had already shifted after Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit the previous year. While the story seemed to lose momentum once a settlement was reached, Combs made headlines again in March 2024 when the Department of Homeland Security raided his properties across multiple states.
Federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him.
2 months later, CNN released footage of the rapper seemingly assaulting Ventura. Combs continued to spiral over the ensuing months amid more lawsuits and allegations, building to his arrest in September. Pleading not guilty, Combs was denied bail.
Sean Diddy Combs himself entered that plea of not guilty. He entered the courtroom with a very serious expression. He scanned the courtroom. He had about 12 friends and family members there to support him. He was wearing a t-shirt. He was also wearing sweatpants. At times, he shook his head when his attorney was arguing on his behalf.
While his trial wouldn't take place until the following year, many suspected that this was the beginning of the end of the Diddy dynasty. They likely weren't wrong, as Combs was ultimately sentenced to more than 4 years.
Combs pleaded for mercy from the judge.
He did, Janae, and he really wanted to be tasting freedom right now, but the judge refused to release him.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. 2025, KPop Demon Hunters goes golden. Quietly dropped on Netflix in June 2025, Sony Animation's KPop Demon Hunters didn't just become a sleeper hit for the streamer. It is now the most watched original entity in Netflix history across film and television. The film's success wasn't limited to streaming.
They're coming after the fans. We gotta stop this now.
Even after being available to Netflix subscribers for months, Huntrix had fans flocking to theaters for a limited engagement. The soundtrack also took on a life of its own, with an unprecedented 4 songs making the Billboard Hot 100's top 10 at once. Golden was especially inescapable, its reach extending from SNL to Macy's Thanksgiving Day. This is what a cultural phenomenon sounds like, and we sense that it'll continue to echo across the next decade. What do you think was the biggest pop culture event of the past decade? Let us know in the comments.